Hello and welcome.
Hello, I'm Colton.
Are you?
What? What just happened?
Welcome to Sometimes Something.
Episode number.
This is.
That's Kari.
Oh, that's K
I'm
for me. It's all different.
I'm K.
And this is.
I don't- Oh, that one's me. That one's me.
Calvin. That's
Welcome
Calvin.
to episode 43.
44.
Fuck. I was
So
about.
close.
I literally was like, I'm gonna add one. Then I was like, I've been doing that too much. I was on episode 44.
Trying to do the Brady Bunch without telling us.
Yeah. Where did that come from? I'm Colton and I'm Calvin.
Do you think
Well,
Zoomers even know about the Brady Bunch at this point?
No.
Because that was
I
like
mean,
a reference
maybe,
I had to be
but
taught when I was younger.
Maybe
watched the Brady
because
Bunch.
there could have been like some sort of TikTok renaissance.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like they know some clips, and they're like they know the characters, but they don't know what
I
it's
learned about the
from.
Brady Bunch from the Shrek 2 DVD. Because. What a good double Shrek 2. Anyways, yeah, because they have like all the characters just like,
Oh, yeah.
in the squares, and they're all looking at each other. So I was like, oh, where's that from? So,
Classic.
that's
Saw the
how
Brady
you
Bunch
watch.
was like, oh, it's from Shrek.
Exactly.
I used to watch it
Family
as a
Guy.
kid, like reruns on TV.
What do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
will be the one thing you're gonna have to explain to kids, the future generation? Like, what are some not even inside jokes or just pop culture
DVDs.
references, but
Mm.
Yeah, probably DVDs and
DVDs.
just
DVDs. I guess.
even just the idea of format, physical video, buying a movie. But
Yeah.
that's a
I
good
guess.
question. What other things? Those are the typical ones. Those are like the straightforward ones.
I still like vaguely remember using maps, like actual physical maps. Having
Oh,
to
that's
do,
a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
long drives like through the Jasper Mountains, like Northwest mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
We'd have to constantly like stop sometimes just to confirm, like, oh, where are we going? And it's like, oh,
Yeah, I remember
you did the wrong turn.
definitely once or twice when we're going somewhere along and like my parents printing off map
Printing
quests,
off
is that what
map
it was?
quests.
Printing
Yeah,
off
exactly.
MapQuest.
Yeah,
Map
yeah.
quest, yeah.
I remember even using phone books a lot, like the yellow pages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are always.
Yeah.
Do people still use the yellow pages? I guess old people are still around. So
I know.
maybe. Sorry, I'm just shit talking everyone now right now. Oh,
Kate brought up
they're
a
still
while
around.
ago, even like cheat codes and like games, or like the
Oh,
idea
yeah,
of not
yeah.
being able just to instantly look up how to do everything in the game. Because before you
Right.
just word of mouth, you'd find a secret.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
as we were getting older that like guides were becoming like a more like popular thing for like every game that came out. Whereas now it's, there's reviewers get codes like 2 weeks before the game comes out and there's a trophy guide day one when you're playing it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah, there's those.
all those things. So how's everyone doing these past
Yeah.
few days?
How's Colton? Where have you been, Colton? This is the first time we've all been together in like a month.
I was here
We've
last
said
week.
that the last like 3 podcasts.
I was here last week.
It's the first time we're all
He
together.
was here, but I wasn't here.
Right. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Right.
How are you, Kari? I just assumed it
good.
was Colton that was
It's supposed to be
missing.
then, all right?
I'm good. The eclipse happened, so it's
Yeah,
Crazy,
the demons
yeah.
have come out and everything, and
All the-
chasing everyone around. And...
everyone's eyes are burnt out right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Good times.
Did you see
you
it
guys
was
do
like
anything for the eclipse? You guys,
It was so
So you were-
cloudy here. It was
yeah.
I don't even know if anything.
barely see anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
it wasn't until
curious.
later, and then I came out of my office after a meeting, and my
Yeah.
girlfriend was like, "Oh, did you see the eclipse?" I was like, "Oh no, did something happen?" She's like, "No, nothing happened." I was like, "Oh, okay, good."
Yeah.
But like the
Well-
amount of people that actually did get eye injuries that are just like weren't paying attention or thought it was a
Every single time. Yeah.
global conspiracy or some shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't
Well,
there
I
like
think-
Google Trends that it was like, "Why do my eyes hurt?" like spiked around the eclipse time.
Are you kidding?
Oh no.
That's so like
I think I saw too
Well, I
that
think-
there was some U.S. schools that like I forget if they sent kids home early or just closed for the day because they didn't want kids just out at recess being like, "Ooh, look at the sky."
Yeah.
that's weird because when I was in school, there's an eclipse when I was younger, and they gave
Yeah.
us all like glasses and they sent us outside to go look at it. We were
Yeah.
like little kids, like 2nd grade, whatever.
I think I don't know. It's
So-
like the lack of, or they don't want the responsibility if some kid is just being stupid and just like takes it off or
Yeah.
whatever. Then it's like then they're held accountable for it. So could be
I
that.
guess so, but like, yeah, I guess so.
Well, I think people don't like. You can kind like if you look at the sun accidentally on purpose, your eyes close down
Like,
and
hey,
you'll
look at the sun
automatically
right now.
squint.
Yeah.
And then that'll like protect your eyes. But my
Yeah.
understanding with the Eclipse is you still get some of those really, really ultra bright rays that are quite harmful. But since it's so dark, your eyes get confused and they try. So the whole problem with the
They're not
Eclipse is your
contracted, yeah.
eyes. Exactly. So you
Yeah.
still get like a very small amount of. So like that's the danger. 'Cause I was like, I don't understand because I've definitely like looked at the sun like a couple times, especially as a kid, without really thinking or just whatever, right? I'm pretty sure there was one time where I was like, I can do it, and I stared at the sun like an idiot. But yeah,
I
I
did that
never,
a few times. Yeah.
yeah, like definitely.
Yeah.
Or even like looking through something at the sun.
Mm.
But yeah, so that makes a lot more sense. So I guess that's what people are thinking. They're like, I've looked at the sun before. It can't be a big deal. Or I've accidentally seen it bounce off something or something. It can't be that big. But
Right.
it makes sense that it's more than just kind of the simple approach. But yeah, there won't be another one for what 20 years or something.
Yeah, it's like
Cool.
2045 or 42. Or I checked yesterday.
Yeah.
Which year? But yeah.
We'll have a
Funny.
countdown every day until the next one on this podcast.
It's kind
There
of
you go.
surprising how often it happens. I feel like it's such a specific lineup. I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's like a lot of opportunities, and I'm just not thinking it through. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to just go and invade some nation who's been destroying everyone for past 100 years.
Yeah.
The U.S.
true.
I know someone. I know
Yeah.
someone who could help with the fight. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have to tell the
no.
Earth King about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
It
you
is so lost.
How is this not?
I have no idea what is going
You're
on.
talking about anime, Kate.
We're talking about the Last Airbender.
Oh,
That's when
that
you
kid
attack
show
those
you
Fire
guys
those
like.
who are
Nation.
watching, Kate hasn't watched it. We still try to bully him to watch it.
I watched the
every
first
day.
episode.
We're
seen
still-
First episode? Ugh. Speaking of, wait, Calvin, did you ever finish
Succession?
Succession?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't
started
even started it. I've been meaning to. I've been watching too much anime trash.
What kind of anime
Since,
trash are
since
you
I
watching?
watched
Oh,
the first
trash.
episode of Avatar, I've rewatched Succession, Calvin.
Oh, really?
Calvin, come on, you gotta do
So
one episode.
no excuses.
You have to. Come on.
Do some Succession. I know.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. I just. Ugh.
Just what?
You'll
It's
like
not.
it. You'll
Not no waifus on the show.
Yeah, it's not a harem. I don't like it.
What brought you
Mm.
to anime? I feel like you didn't watch it that much when we first
You
knew each
said
Yeah,
other.
that,
what
like a
went
switch
wrong?
just happened.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
What wrong? What did it all go wrong? Do tell us.
Where did it all go wrong? I don't know, Colton. Sorry, I'm
You
playing
can't. You
against.
don't know.
What
What are you?
Of course.
I don't know.
What
I
are
think
you
there
playing?
was.
not
We'll
important,
get
though.
to that. We'll get to that in a minute. You know what I'm playing, Curry. I think it was like my annual, like every other year, I'll go be like, where are like the two shows that I know what they are? Like, do they have new seasons? And this time I just kind of have stuck around longer, just accidentally finding shows that I'm like, this one's okay. I don't know.
So it was the most popular ones like JJK came out, and then you're like, oh, I'll check it
Well,
out.
that was kind of like I had watched my kind. I can't think of what shows that I usually kind of come back and check on. I'd have to.
You
like,
watched
look at
My
a list.
Hero before, like a long
time ago, and
Yeah.
some other things. So it was like there was like 3 shows I kind of would still watch, and I
Yeah.
check on every year. And then I think it was like this year I was just like, "What's JJK? This looks really pretty," and then I clicked on that, and then it's kind of snowballed from there.
It was JJK's fault. Right?
It's a good show.
Cool.
Good show. But I don't know.
I can't
Just
remember.
a lot of
I may be
random
wrong
stuff.
about this, but I recall reading where it's like the animation department or team only managed to do like 30% of what they wanted to for the show. As
Mm.
Yeah,
like,
they had Mappa. They had huge problems with getting the show out because it's
Oh, yeah,
just
we-
ridiculous good quality.
yeah, or as because I mean, we all know that they're overworked and underpaid and all that stuff, and but yeah, that's
all
always
that
kind of
stuff.
disheartening to hear. Where it's just like, just
But-
push it out, crank it out.
I think that's a lot of like 2D animation. That's a lot of like just animation generally, and a lot of, like lower end animation is kind of paid by the frame and some sketchy practices. And I know overseas it's even worse. But
Yeah,
hopefully it'll
Japan's
get
not so hot.
better. Yeah, Japan's not exactly great on paying your
Work
animators
culture. Yeah.
a lot. I didn't say
Work-life balance
culture.
culture. I meant sorry,
I didn't say
work-life
culture,
balance, I
but
meant.
to be clear, their culture sucks. No, that's not what I said.
Oh boy.
But it's not just like exclusive to Japan, is my point.
Yeah.
Animators getting beaten up on is normal. They deserve it. I'm kidding. Cut that. But yeah,
Leave that in.
I'm right now. I just started playing a game. Kari, you want to tell Kate what game it is?
It's playing Noita.
No. What
I
was
thought-
the other one that we just talked about right before the podcast?
Oh, Cade. So our bet that we made a while back has become
Oh yeah.
fruit. Yes.
Literally, like a
discuss-
minute before the podcast,
Well,
and you joined.
What is it
I
called?
was just like, "Hey, have you guys heard of what's it called, Buccacarta or whatever?" It's a Baltoro.
Yeah.
It's a roguelike card poker game.
Where did I make
Like
it?
30 seconds before the podcast.
It's in the pod topics. So
Oh,
you
is it?
win. You're closer.
I did. Yeah.
I
So
thought you
I
discovered soon.
I was just browsing through roguelites and I was like, have you guys ever heard of this poker card game? And Kari all of a sudden out of nowhere gets so excited. And apparently these two morons had a bet. Like, when is Calvin going to find this game and bring it up to us?
Yep. Yep. Nice.
Wait,
Yeah,
why
that's
did you
pretty
think
funny.
that he was gonna play it? I never took Calvin for.
It's a
betting
very
man.
me game.
It's
No, I'm
with
not
the-
betting. It's not about betting though. It's not about actual betting real money. It's about
Yeah.
stats.
It's all the
It's all
statistics and
stats
it's
and
the
numbers and
roguelites,
stuff.
everything.
Mm.
It's a roguelite with stats that I can like nerd out on. Yeah, no, it's very me.
Jesus Christ! This just came out in February and it's already has 25,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
It's the
Yeah,
devs.
it blew up,
It's the
right?
devs' first game, and he made like $1 million in the first week.
Fuck.
Like, yeah, it's one of those
I
like
mean-
crazy success stories.
It's just like such an original idea. It's very, if any, I think there's only like one or like the best poker game out there is going to play the latest Red Dead. Like that's kind of like if you want to play poker and not against
Red
other
Dead?
people, it's you go play Red Dead because
Hmm.
apparently that has like the best poker and it actually there's not really poker AI isn't a thing unless you want to go play online. And playing online is
Wait, really?
unbelievably boring. Yeah, it's like
didn't know.
impossible.
No,
Yeah,
I mean like
it's
with Red
awful.
Dead, like wait, so sorry, I didn't play Red
Red
Dead.
Dead's the only game. So Red Dead has a like you can sit down and go play poker in Red Dead, and it's
Oh,
like a decent AI, and it's all the rules. So if you want like a offline poker to practice, Red
Mhm.
Dead's like the best one by a massive margin. The problem with
Interesting.
playing poker against people when you don't play for money is they just play like idiots. Like they just play for fun. Whereas real poker is like very different. Like if you go play poker on like one of the sites that's free, and like you go play that for 10 hours, and then you go play poker on a real site, even if you're playing for like $1 max a hand, you put like $20 in, that lasts you a few months. Yeah, or if you can stay positive, it'll last you forever, which is pretty easy to do at like those hand sizes. It'll be a
Mhm.
completely different game. Like it's so different. So finding like good card games is hard.
So like playing unranked versus ranked for most games.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
just fucking around
Yeah.
as compared to like, oh, I actually got to try hard.
Yeah. You run into people that are actually tryharding, and then you can quickly get into like once you start playing for like between like $25 and $20 around, people start caring a lot. And that's like you can end up with plots occasionally for hundreds of dollars, which start to matter. But I've never done that.
So I'm still trying to understand the roguelike aspect to this game, where it's like you
I'm pretty
gain-
sure. So you're playing through
power-ups and stuff?
rounds based on. Okay, so from what I can tell, is you're playing through multiple rounds and you're trying to make the best hand, and there's
Mhm.
discarding and getting new hand mechanics. It's not Texas Hold'em rules. It's old school poker rules where you get like a full set of cards.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
Texas Hold'em, you get 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
And then there's cards played out.
Progress.
So
yeah.
this is you get 8 cards in your hand,
Uh,
which is like kind of similar to what like really old school poker was, and some other versions of poker, where it's everyone's betting without any cards on the table at all. So everyone's saying this is how good my hand is,
Right.
and there isn't like cards up like giving away some of the information. So this is just like making cards, and then there's like modifier cards, and you're trying to just get a specific score. And then there's cards like this one's like, for example, one it's like you get a multiplier on your total point score if you're playing a straight, and that's like an extra perk modifier. And I think it's just like going through rounds and seeing how big of a score you can get, and you're comboing and yeah, it's
Is
kind
it
of
like
cool.
like
It's kinda
special
fun.
cards or anything, or is it just straight up?
Yeah, so well, I mean, I think it's a normal deck of 52 cards. standard, you kind of your standard run of the mill, clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds, like very simple. But then there's like two other sections. One's called Jokers, and there's 150 Jokers in the game, and they all do
Oh, wow.
things like one of the Jokers is like just a flat multiply whatever your score is by 4. Another one, like I just said, is a 12 multiplier if you play a straight. So it's all about like just building up huge combos. And so I have like a set of cards here, and I've got to figure out what the best way to try and get myself into a good position for a good hand is. And then you're spiraling that into like a whole bunch of combos. It's kind of cool. It's fun. It's definitely a cute little game.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it took you this long.
I don't think you need to know how to play poker. It also gives you the odds on pulling
poker.
cards. Yeah, it's not like poker.
It's like
at all.
based off of poker, but it's not poker.
The only similarities is like knowing the hands, which there's like a cheat sheet that just shows you
Right.
all of the hands right of the gate. So
Cool.
I have to check it out.
You constantly say, "I'm the Joker, baby," every time you win.
No, but I can do that.
Speaking of the
Speaking
Joker,
of which,
wow, what a segue.
What a
just
segue. We gotta stop saying what a segue every time we segue.
People gotta know we're segueing. Segueing.
yeah.
The Joker 2 trailer just came out.
Before
we
we
just
talk
watched it.
about it, can we just say, along with the condoms that we're gonna make and label for Sometimes
We had a
Something,
beautiful
What?
segue.
Wait,
What are you
wait,
doing?
You just had we just segued into a topic, and then we just segued perfectly. That was great.
Can
And
we
then you were like,
also,
I'm gonna
can we also
torpedo
manufacture and
this.
sell segues? I feel like that would be
You're
like
such a
the
jackass. I hate
sometimes
That's-
segue. I feel like that would be
That
a
is the
great
most-
We'll
process.
have on the side, it'll say SS. Great idea.
That is the most unoriginal
I thought you were gonna say
idea.
like
What?
a deck of cards or something. I'm like, that'd be kind of cool, yeah, but no, a
That'd be
segue.
fun.
Oh, that's actually even better.
Yeah.
Colton, you know what happened to the last guy who made segways, right?
What? What did he do?
Well, he's dead.
Didn't he die in poverty? Didn't wait? No, he
I
died on
don't
a
know.
Segway, didn't he? Didn't he
Yeah.
die on a Segway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's avoid that one. No,
Yeah.
Colton, we'll consider it.
We'll put it.
Anyways,
we'll ask the board.
Yeah. What was
Sorry,
it?
sorry, I rudely interrupted you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, what's the how do we segue to the Joker now?
Yeah. Joker. God, Colton, we were on such a smooth trail. The Joker 2. Colton, what is the Joker 2 called? I want you to say this title.
Actually, no, I don't see it right in here. Hold on. Joker 2.
It's in general.
Folie à deux.
Yeah. That's the one. We just watched the
Alright,
trailer.
we'll
What'd you guys think?
Looks interesting.
Looks
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really a fan of the first Joker until like
Oh,
the last scene, like the whatchamacallit, the one with Robert De Niro at the very end, where it's like, okay,
Right,
this is
the
actually
talk
like a
show.
well crafted scene. I don't know. It just felt very like one note, kind of. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it to begin with. It felt
liked
very,
it.
Like,
It was very eerie and like kind of uncomfortable to like watch the whole time. You didn't really know what was
Yeah.
gonna happen. I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
good. This
it
one
was
I don't.
definitely well crafted. It just wasn't my
Yeah.
maybe cup of tea.
This
I
one
liked
just
the first one a lot. I thought it was good.
don't.
I
know
wasn't.
what it's gonna
My
be.
expectations are really low for it. Where this one, the second shot in the trailer, whatever, was that umbrella shot, and I just immediately hated that because anytime they're like, sometimes it feels like they're just like, how do we do like an artsy symbolism shot? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, Christ, guys, why are they
Well, I think
walking
this is
out of
gonna
jail
be-
with 4 different colored umbrellas? Like,
You know, it's gonna be mixed with like a lot of stuff of like how he's like seeing stuff. Like obviously, like those probably aren't all 4 bright, colorful umbrellas and stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean though, Calvin. That's kind of something where it's like I think it's this era of very artsy.
it just
Ways
feels
of shooting.
forced. It feels like, but it doesn't
Yeah,
feel
I
like
would
it's
say-
just well shot. Like the first one
I think
felt.
it's also
Yeah.
stuff we've technically seen before, and there's nothing wrong with it. And it's still good, but I think we're starting to get to the point where like maybe all of our taste, like we've seen this kind of style done many times.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're-
Like sometimes it feels like if they're taking away from the story at all, just through arbitrary like, look how artsy these shots are. I kind of get it's a bit. It's a bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We
gross,
haven't
I
seen the
think.
movie yet, but we'll see.
yeah,
That-
I think you can't really judge that
um,
till it's in context too, or
yeah.
a lot of stuff.
It just
So we'll see.
it reminds me a lot of like how La La Land was trying to pay homage to all these like older films for the musicals. So I feel like that is
Mm.
what this movie is trying to do, because the first one was just a rip off of the old 70s movie that Scorsese did. I can't remember the name.
Taxi
It was like
Driver.
Tac well, a little bit of Taxi Driver, but it was also another one, like a something comedian.
Oh, yeah. I forget what it's called.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
that
in
one.
any case, whereas this one is like, okay, now let's do what's another genre or another genre types of art films that haven't had the superhero or supervillain treatment yet. It's kind of like how in video games these days, where it's let's go back. I'm going to use Undertale as an example. Let's go back to old genres or times for games, and then just update them to the modern world. Like it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something we've already seen. It's just how
I get you.
well executed is it. Or as example, like Cuphead, let's just go back to the 30s animation style and bring it to the modern in a run and gun shooter. That's basically what movies are doing now. They're going back, trying to find, where can we fit and plot our movie into a different type of setting or genre. And that's, I guess, that's where we may feel like Calvin feels like, oh, I kind of seen this before. It just feels like a art house statement that's been done how many times. Not necessarily it's a bad thing. It's just in the end, it's all about execution and if it actually pays off.
The king of
Like
comedy is what it was
King
called.
of comedy. Okay.
You think of like other examples too. Like we have a buddy who really hates the shots of someone running their hands through wheat. Oh, that's
Oh yeah, that's been done so far. That was Gladiator. Like
I was gonna say Gladiator. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was.
God.
but there was a point. There was a point where that was like kind of that was kind of fresh. That was kind of
That's true. Yeah, I guess shots like that
So it's
are
kind
look
of like-
really good, get done a couple times, and then eventually it's like, okay, we're sick of these. We know what this shot is.
And I
If
feel
you
like the
can't bring
shot with the
anything new,
umbrella
don't-
is definitely
please
something
don't.
I've seen where it's like, different
Yeah.
colored umbrella. Oh, look at that. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it doesn't look too like it doesn't look generic to me when I see that.
No,
like
yeah.
when I see an umbrella in a movie, I'm like, ah, fuck. Like I saw an umbrella in a movie yesterday. Like what is going on here? Like that doesn't scream like it's just trying to copy something to me.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
And
yeah,
then-
you could be right.
yeah. I was just gonna say that at least they're actually taking risks as opposed to like Marvel formula that's been done over
That's
and
true.
over. So
Yeah,
at least
making-
that'll give them my kudos.
Yeah,
And
I'm
this is
actually more
not
inclined to
in the
watch it.
new. This is not going to have like Batman or anybody, right?
Nope.
This is not-
No, I think they said that like this is its own thing, and then I think they said the Batman is like its own thing too.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting. I think it's fine, but it's still like, is there not? Is it a missed opportunity or is it just?
I think it's
I don't
good.
know.
I think Marvel should do that more too. Like they have, if someone comes to Kevin Feige and is like, I have a really cool Iron Man movie, and then it's like, I don't know, some cool weird Iron Man. Like it doesn't even have to be Robert Downey Jr., but it's just some other cool weird Iron Man movie. Like why not
Yeah.
just make that instead of being like, oh yeah, sure, and then Captain America can come in and have coffee with him. It's like, okay, I guess we could do that too.
I guess I don't mean in that way where it's like forced in, but I don't know. If
Like
there was,
what
a
do you
way to
want
it.
to see?
I,
You want
I'm
a
not saying
post-credit
I'm not-
scene where Robert Pattinson comes to say hello.
No, that's not what I mean. I guess I mean having this character exist in some kind of world that's such a well written, well loved character that's done well. You know what I mean? This idea of like
You're just
I don't
saying
know.
like Batman exists in this world.
He doesn't have to show up in the movie
Gotcha.
do a cameo. Just like
I thought you were
later
saying
on
if it
you
was
see
tied
remnants.
into.
I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess we'll see. See it's not many more superhero movies coming out other than these ones, right? This year.
Yeah, not
Got
really.
some Star
It's
Wars.
coming out- Yeah, not this year. Yeah, this year's pretty dead for movies, to be honest, after all the strikes and stuff. But
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What else come? Furiosa that comes out soon.
Oh,
There's
right.
a lot of like weird small stuff. There's not necessarily anything like absolutely massive.
I really want
Oh,
to see
I
that
think-
new Monkey Man. It looks really cool. With
Excuse
I
me?
did see
Jade Leto.
that.
I heard it was
Man,
good.
I heard
It's an action movie.
it's kind of
Uh-huh.
not controversial, isn't it? Though.
Is it?
Just with some statements about
You say
Yeah.
it is controversial or non-con?
it is controversial.
I heard it's
but-
pretty violent.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
pretty violent. I mean, at least from the trailer, it seemed very much like it's his rendition of a John Wick,
John Wick.
movie. So I don't know, I'm sold. But if it's that gruesome, well, we'll see.
I heard.
I
yeah,
don't think
know.
that. Yeah, I think it's just about culture. And
Oh,
something
I see.
different.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, it does look interesting. I'll probably check it out.
No. And then tomorrow the Fallout series comes out. I think the whole series comes out tomorrow. Day early.
Yeah, excited for that.
I'm interested.
Excited
Oh,
for
yeah.
your Capital One lighting. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, it's on. People are making fun of the lighting of the show.
Okay.
They're like adding Capital One ads.
Oh, it just
That's
looks like a
end of scene.
commercial or something, like how it's lit.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
seen a lot of those jokes.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
It
might be
does-
fine. It's not. People are.
Yeah.
Are harsh.
I'm hoping that like the color and kind of tone they go like works with what they do, because I feel like they wanted to do like not what like you would expect, where it's like, you know, like green, yellow, everything's dark and grungy. They wanted to do just the opposite of that, where it seems just very, very saturated. But
It's not
hopefully it don't.
2008 where everything was dark and grungy like it used to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
for every single game.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm super excited for that.
that's good.
See how it is.
yeah, definitely watch an episode
I
or two by
remember
next
that.
week.
Okay, this is another take that I'm gonna come out swinging, because this is helmed by one of the Nolans, right? The not Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jonathan Nolan, I feel, is the integral part to Christopher Nolan's success.
I don't think that's a
Mhm.
hot take.
Oh, really? Oh, it's no. Okay.
I think so. He's like written and helped write a lot of his movies, right?
Yeah. So I feel like
even Batman.
think the show will be pretty good if Jonathan Nolan had like a really strong like writing grasp
Definitely a
on
good
it.
sign that he's a part of it. You know, he's got a good track record. So hopefully,
Mhm.
I think he's
Okay.
directed too, right?
I could just imagine like Jonathan Nolan just like telling Chris after like just a huge 8-hour binge of playing Fallout, being like, "Hey Chris, I just
What is that?
I just
Hey,
messed
Chris,
up all
I'm
these.
I'm from an 80s rock band originating in the
This
British
is my shitty
Isles.
British accent." I could just like picture him like to like a Christmas dinner or something, telling Chris, "I was just
Hey,
playing
Chris.
Fallout 4 for the
Hey,
past
man.
8 hours.
You wouldn't believe it, man.
These death claws were on my ass. I had a shot given
Oh
them off
my
the face.
god.
Got any credits?" And then Christopher Nolan just like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
That probably happened.
Probably.
Bro, you just gotta try this video game. Come on.
I like your British accent, Colton.
It's pretty horrible, eh?
It's pretty bad. I know, man.
Can you do your best like UK drill impression?
What?
Do some UK drill.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know
Drill?
what that is.
It's the
Oh, yeah.
style of rap that's
It's-
like
it's the rap
popular
that
in
they
the
do?
UK right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold on.
I would put it in the Suno AI prompts
Oh, that's actually
all the time for you guys.
Gotcha. What else?
Yeah,
What else
we'll
is
see how it
going
is.
on?
yeah. What else is going on in the world? We got lots of eclipses. We got lots of
Eclipses.
movies, lots
Yeah.
of war,
Mm-hmm.
lots of games.
Card
Calvin.
games.
You just learned about Noita today. Want to go on a short little tirade on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything special about Noja. Oh, it just came out with like a big update, so it like ended up on my feed of like things to know about. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll try this game again. And I love those videos that people do that's like a shit guide to some sort of video game. And they're always like quite good guides, but usually they make a lot more jokes than normal. So I ended up just watching one of those and I was like, oh, this game looks super cool. It looks way more in-depth than I was expecting. But I find I have some trouble with some of those games that don't build power every run to a certain degree. I just kind of get a little bit bored. I like it when there's a little bit of carrot, like the rogue light, not rogue like.
Right.
Because I like like little
I find myself
modifiers
being able
that
to get
simply
into
build
those
up.
more too, rather than
because it's like every run you're gonna get better, even though you're always gonna get better because you're just getting better at that game. It's nice to, but we'll see.
Yeah, Noita definitely is like the knowledge is the
Knowledge is key.
yeah. There's so much to it. But yeah, I did kind of wish the same when I first played it, but like eventually when I found how deep it was, and I mostly played it with my brother. We just go back and forth when I go visit him.
Nice.
We'll do that for hours, and it's usually a lot of fun like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fun game, sandbox game. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's our episode, folks. Thanks
That's our
for
episode.
tuning
We have a
in.
closing statement from Colton. Colton,
Take it
what
away.
hair products
Colton.
have you used today?
All right. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Going in on Colton for no reason.